All right, well, we're good. So this is brought to you by Texas Frio Beer. You can get these at HEB for about 60 cents each. They're
Wow.
yeah,
Really?
30 pack for 17.97. So they're
Crikey,
just
what's the APV?
6.0.
That'll do for that kind of money.
Yeah. Hey, so welcome to the podcast. This is an interview with Ed Riccardi of WingIT Productions. We met when I did voice character work for one of his claymation features. If you look in the show notes, you'll find a link to that on YouTube, free little short film. Go ahead and hit like and subscribe. We really appreciate your patronage. And now, on to the show. More about that beer.
I am a beer snob. I'm a beer snob.
What do you
as low
expect?
as I'll go will be Shiner Bock.
Yeah, well, what do you expect for, what did I say, 60 cents?
60 cents? No.
Just a hair under 60 cents.
No, I'm drinking St. Bernardus Abbot 12. I like that.
I'm drinking laid off airline pilot. The choice of laid off airline pilots everywhere.
You know, I know we're recording now. You never had disclosed what major airline or sub
COVID
airline you worked for.
COVID, basically, and they went with a cheaper option.
No, what airline were you with?
Oh, ExpressJet.
What's their logo look like?
Should pour some out for the homies.
Was that passengers?
Yeah, 50 seat.
What routes did you
Everybody always asks me that like I'm a milkman, which my joke is that's insulting because milkmen make far more money than a regional airline pilot.
I think they get more fringe benefits these days too.
Yeah, probably so. Yeah, see, if you continue to do these, we're going to have to like get a good webcam and some lighting. This is like from the basement, like you're going to issue an ultimatum. Here, a manifesto. Make my manifesto debut right here.
Perfect. I am a Luddite light. I don't completely shun technology. However, I go reluctantly.
Yeah.
So this is the very first time I've ever done any kind of video conferencing.
So for our viewers and listeners, tell us what kind of laptop this is running on. Like, what was the operating system?
We be on Windows Vista. And this is a Fujitsu Lifebook.
Yeah. I'm surprised it's working this well.
I don't kick my stuff around. And you see, my computers do not talk to other computers.
Right.
Whenever. So, it's like I like to say, I keep a virtual condom on all mine.
I'm shocked that Zoom actually works on that thing, honestly. I'm surprised they're like, no, Windows 7 is like the minimum. This week on this old laptop.
First off, hey, I've known you for about 3 years. This is the first time we've had come remotely or close to having a face-to-face.
So tell, like, for the listener, like, how did we meet and all that stuff, and like what do we work on?
That's a dang good question. It was either via Yahoo groups or Craigslist. I put an ad out asking for voice actors.
I'm gonna guess Yahoo groups because I'm not
Yahoo
on Craigslist.
Okay. I wanted to make a Star Wars animated parody in the vein of what I would call, I don't know. Rankin Bass, of course, are a big influence. The guys that did like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and Santa Claus is Coming to Town. And Mad Magazine and Hardware Wars, which I think was the premier Star Wars parody. Of course, to the listener, the project we worked on together was Snark Wartz, a Star Wars parody.
I played the part of Fluke Dishwasher.
Fluke Dishwasher, yes, as played by Jerry Mathers as the Beaver.
And the Beaver.
And you really, I just said it, man, and you gave me a sample, and I was like, wow, okay, you got the part, babe. Mean, you were by far the best Jerry Mathers imitation I've ever heard.
Well, gee, lady, what you want to go do a crazy thing like that for?
That's... and with any project, these things just evolve. I mean, when I started it, I don't know, this project has been in the back of my head in various forms for 40 years.
Wow.
Well, we're the same age group, right? We're both roughly, Gen Xers, aren't we?
I graduated in the 80s.
Yeah, as did I.
The last analog
happy
decade.
Veterans Day.
Oh, thanks. Appreciate it. Another one for the homies.
Salute to me too.
I can't really put it on my desktop.
Didn't you say you went to basic at Fort Chaffee?
I went to basic at Fort Hood. Not Fort Hood, Fort Knox. Ended up at Fort Hood later for Desert Storm. But,
didn't you do like a little video of stripes?
Yeah.
Did you say that?
Yeah, because that was like the same field that they marched through. Like they get issued their stuff in a building. We got our stuff issued.
Oh, but that wasn't the same location you went to AIT or?
No, that street was where I went to basic on.
Oh, that was Hood.
Yeah, no, that was Knox.
Oh, Knox.
Yeah, because there's a part when you see a tank.
The cold.
Yeah, well, you see a tank roll by too.
Mm-hmm.
So like.
So were you a DAT?
A DAT. Oh, is that like one station training?
No. That would be OC.
Oh no, I know what you're saying. No. I was a turret mechanic on the M1.
Oh.
So in that video, it's an M60, which I guess they still had turret school for that there somewhere, but I was on the M1. I guess because
what year did you go in?
Well, in my guard unit, I was the first turret mechanic for the M1 in the guard unit.
Okay.
So we
in a guard unit, right? So you just you were just transitioning. Okay.
Right. So I think we had like serial number 38. You know, like all the really old M1s are like, give that to the guard. So we were still training up on.
That's Kentucky National Guard or Texas?
Louisiana.
Louisiana. Okay.
Yeah. So you go up there for training.
Excuse me.
Anyway, that's another podcast. But now I'll leave some mystery for the listener because they're gonna be like, I want to hear the rest of that. Well, hey, leave a comment in the show notes. Subscribe. Ask me for it. Then we'll talk about it. That's kind of becoming one of my new modes. It's like, hey, do you want to see something else? You got to subscribe. Then you ask me for it in a comment. Then I'll do it. Otherwise, I'm not going to. I prefer to do stuff people want to see.
So this is your second official podcast, right?
Oh, no, I did some podcasts. This is my interview. So, yeah, Snark Wartz. So the next thing you're asking me to work on, which I've been procrastinating for weeks, but I don't feel so bad because you worked on the last one for 40 years. So like a 7 or 8 week delay. Well, what you asked me to do was George Lucas. So I'm like, ooh. That's when it's like, well, you know, Star Wars was for me. I mean, other than him having
that's
like...
good. That's better than I could do.
Yeah, but I hadn't found the hook. I really need to. I was kind of watching him the other day, but you know, it's one of those you got to find the hook.
You know, it's almost like, you know, because I guess he's a diabetic now in his 60s, and I don't know how bad his weight problem is, but it seems to all have gone to his neck. Yeah. So if you ever watched Clone Wars or Attack of the Clones. But there's this CGI character called Jexter. He was like a diner owner. If you remember that scene, if you've seen the movie, I'm sure.
Is this the one where the bounty hunter's in the diner or something? Is that one?
Similar. Well, they went to that's the beginning of the movie. Later on, Obi-Wan Kenobi is trying to play connect the dots, private eye thing, and he goes to a diner, and it looks like an old 50s diner. It's kind of got the silver streamline look, and they even have like the old jukebox, you know, push button jukeboxes at the tables. But the diner, he's kind of like Mel, you know, from Alice. You know, he like scratches his butt, but he's got 4 arms, and
he's kind of remember that part. Is this got to do with the
tangent? But regardless, anyway, George Lucas has like a huge neck. Yeah. Right? So I think that kind of plays into why he talks like.
Yeah, it could be, and I think he's always kind of had just a small voice.
He's soft-spoken.
He's soft-spoken. Yeah.
He's rather monotone.
And Star Wars, it's hard to find a hook other than, you know.
Well, in lots of making ofs and interviews and stuff, I know Carrie Fisher was fond of his direction was faster, more intense.
Yeah.
Which what he would tell the actors to do. But meantime, he's sitting here like, faster, more intense. Give me more passion.
Right. Well, that sounds more like Ed Sullivan a little bit. We're going to do a really good show. But it's also a little bit of...
At least Ed Sullivan smiled from time to time. Lucas never seemed to do that.
Yeah, he's just kind of... He's kind of like a... like a nerdy, quiet guy, and he's just, he kind of sits there and he's like,
Now you're definitely doing Ed Sullivan.
There's a little bit of Ed Sullivan in there. It's probably the beer.
Yeah, hey, you're coming at a good price. So who
Yeah,
am I
right.
So
I'm in it for the
what am I paying? I'm paying you like SAG rates.
Yeah,
right?
I wish it was SAG rates.
Come on, man. I'm warning
for
Windows Vista and Windows XP.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tells me something right
Enough
there.
Enough said.
This
is the budget.
Can't afford to turn the lights on.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I'm gonna send you some LED bulbs here, man. These are
no, God, no. I hate that.
So, what's the next project?
What you're working on is the making of Snark. It's going to do like a little. It's going to do a little stop mo intro with a bunch of famous directors sitting around the council table, like in the original movie, where they ponder what they're going to do at this battle station. That's where Darth Vader shows his ability to remotely choke people for the first time, right back in 1977. And so I'm going to play up on that angle. Lucas is going to be sitting there. Spielberg, J.J. Abrams, Alfred Hitchcock, Orson Welles, Spike Lee, John Lasseter, Buster Keaton. It's going to be a big table, right? And it's going to be a table in the round.
Yeah, those are tough, man, because you named all those guys. I'm like, I can't think of too many. Like I said, I keep using the word like hooks or styles that those guys talk in. Yeah, that's a tough one.
The good news is it's not all up to you. It's not all up to you. Right. Like I said, when that's another thing. When we did Snark Wartz, you read for every single part.
Yep.
And I went with what worked, how many volunteers I could get to jump into the project with me. And I just basically made command decisions as I was editing the audio. Audio was edited first before I even really started any animation.
Sure.
I had like an animatic cut scenes, with all the storyboards to go along with the audio while I edited. And then as I produced each scene, I would just reference what you guys were doing along with the storyboards and animate accordingly. What did the project take? Year and a half. Yeah.
I don't even remember. That's been a while.
And I think I was promising everybody about 6 months.
Yeah.
So, life gets in the way, right?
I've got stuff that went in the can and never came out. So
yeah. Well, I do refer to myself as a lord of unfinished projects.
Yeah, right.
So.
You finished one. I got stuff that at one point there was one, I guess it was right before COVID, I was involved with, and they're like, we're talking to Netflix and da-da-da-da-da-da. And since then, it's like, nothing. And we already...
Oh, is this a project you produced?
No, it was something I was acting in. They gave me some producer credit because I actually provided the location for one of the scenes. So I was a character, and then I had the location, and we shot some stuff at my ranch down south. That was a deal where, that I was like, okay, you're talking to Netflix, and I think they flew out to meet them and all this different stuff, and then nothing. I mean, I've been doing this for like 4 years, so I've learned a little bit of stuff. It's like, hey man, just go do it, kind of have fun. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't,
you've only dabbled in acting for 4 years?
Well, I did it like in high school and a little bit in elementary school, and then when I was in college I was a DJ at the radio station, so there's little bits and pieces scattered around. And then I did YouTube videos for a while, so I guess you could count that. And so kind of
how many you got the fitness channel, you got your actor channel, what else?
The actor channel is just kind of like throw up some stuff if anybody ever cares to see anything. Okay, here you go.
This is kind of a commemorative day, being Veterans Day. I'm not your first interview, but this is the first time I've participated in anything like this. However, Snark Wartz has just made a little bit of money today.
It did.
I released some merchandise. Merch on Sunday, Sunday night, and by golly, made a sale today.
Sweet.
I was astounded because I didn't really promote it very well. I think I went to my Facebook Snark Wartz page. I think I posted it up there. And the ad itself was only looked at, I think 6 times and made a sale.
Yeah.
I was like, that's rather radical. I mean, I was impressed. I'm kind of feeling validated today, after like roughly 3.5, 4 years of messing around with this goofy project in various forms. And I made $50 today.
Ooh.
Not including shipping. Now you gotta subtract $15 right there for shipping.
Right.
Shipping will eat your lunch, man, I'll tell you. And,
Nice.
so, hey.
Speaking of merch, I don't want to get into politics too much because Lord knows there's not enough of it these days.
That's so hard to do nowadays, isn't it?
Yeah, it's so hard to find somebody who wants to talk about politics.
How do we get into politics? How do we avoid it? Yeah.
I think the people that would be good at the job don't want the job. So, but I do want a T-shirt that has Joe Biden saying, "Come on, man!
Come on, man!
Come on, man!"
I was going there. Yeah.
That'd be great to have a Joe Biden T-shirt that says, "Come on, man!"
It's like, yeah. So we're gonna have presidents with catchphrases now.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, man! Cut the
man.
malarkey.
Yeah, come on, man!
President. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, I want that. What was the other one? I had 2 phrases that he had said. "Come on, man" was one of them.
Malarkey, right?
Malarkey. I don't know. You heard about that? You seen the corn pop story though, right?
Corn pops?
Yeah, Google
like
that when you get offline. Yeah, Google Joe Biden and the corn pop story.
Okay.
It is gold. He tells a long, rambling story about when he worked at a swimming pool as a lifeguard way back.
Is that where the black kids like to touch his hair?
Yeah.
Yeah, his leg hairs and stuff. They like to, ooh! Hey, it's a Genji!
Yeah, that's part of the story.
Okay.
His conflict with corn pop. I was like, oh my gosh, this was a ramble.
Not delving into politics, but maybe we will be blessed here in the next few years with the fact that government will be incapable of getting anything done.
Well, that's my hope.
Yeah. You crush your fingers like, okay, they're in such gridlock, we can't do nothing. Cool. Let us move on and
you've probably heard my running platform. I think I've told this to a few people. You probably haven't heard it, but my platform would be, okay, look, I'm going to get in office in 4 years. I'm not going to promise you anything except to spend less money and look for the fat to trim off and only kind of spend money if it can be like for everybody, like streets, parks,
like infrastructure.
Right. Exactly. Stuff like that. So if
that one's a hard thing to poo-poo, infrastructure. Yeah,
right.
It's a hard one to poo-poo.
So if you're looking for something to kind of, be your little set aside, I'm sorry. That's not it. Basically, I'm not going to do much for 4 years. I'm going to leave you alone. You leave me alone. You bring me issues and problems. I'll look through them. If it makes sense for everyone.
Son, if I know your name, you're screwing up. That's a good platform. I like that. Check this out, too. I've been hearing scuttlebutt. Don't want to get into politics, but if said Donald J. Has to vacate the White House, there's talk he's going to start his own media company.
Yeah.
Yeah, to compete with, all these others. So
I did have an idea on that note. I said, I'm going to start a media company, and I'm going to call it the Good News Network. But I'm only going to have about 30 minutes a day of material. Definitely not going to be more than 20 minutes.
You'll run the rest of the time videos of the fireplace or some nature scene.
Kittens, puppies, that sort of thing. I'm going to call it the Good News Network. What else you got going on? You've been posting videos of sketches and stuff. And so now I think I'm going to turn into Mushmouth from Fat Albert after about the second beer of 6.0. Like, hey, man,
say about that, Albert.
What other videos
you gonna make him a movie today, bud? God.
We'll get dirty letters about
Army stories. I used to break into all the Fat Albert characters. That was part of my shtick, and the troops.
I don't know if you can do that. Is this politically correct? I don't know. I need a judgment call in here.
Oh, no, heck no.
I need to get my piece.
Cosby, you can't even name Mr. Who should not be named anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway.
Right.
Anyway, well, what you were referring to would have been Inktober. It's the Inktober, which is just a cute little exercise, social mingling thing that just encourages people to get out there and draw pictures, and the only stipulation is it's got to be finally rendered in ink. You know, set it to ink. There's one thing about ink, man. You got to commit. You know, it's hard to. There's not much take back when you're talking about ink.
Well, let's take a look at some of those videos, and here we'll cut to it.
Can you do it? Oh,
no.
You got that capability, man. Okay.
When I do the edit, here's the thing I did for my last podcast. I think it's one of those deals. You shoot about 60 minutes and then cut it down to about 35.
The whole YouTube thing it's just a big disappointment. I mean, I'll talk about YouTube for a little bit because I had big aspirations for Snark Wartz. You know, I thought, hey, I might actually produce a viral video, get a lot of attention, garner, maybe some work. And it was January of so what I posted it May 25th, 2019, and YouTube seems to be changing their rules almost weekly. But it was like January of 19 that they said, okay, if you even think about monetizing anything, and then they start jacking around with algorithms and shadow banning people and just playing all kinds of games. You had to have 1,000 subscribers before you could even begin to make a red cent. And I was just like, God, man, I'm always late to the party. Right?
Right.
But I'll say this about Snarks. When I posted, I think I had like 30 subscribers. Mm-hmm. I'm up to like 155, I think, right now. So I didn't sweep the nation like, I dreamt of. But
right.
And no one once has even texted me a message like, hey, would you like to animate my movie for me?
You just got to keep working, man. You got to plug away.
Well, that's the idea. That's why I'm just like throwing content. Maybe I might bust through that algorithm wall. Who knows? Maybe I am a pariah and being shadow banned. Who the heck knows?
Well, it's tough when like that's kind of because you have a long lead to do stuff. You're trying to do. We gotta brainstorm on this later, but you're trying to do like things that are a very long lead time, take a lot of production value, and then put it on YouTube to get subscribers. And this is me thinking off the top of my head. Like, I'll give you an example. What I do is I'll make small, useful, niche videos that really don't take a whole lot. Like I did.
Well, that's where Inktober was kind of beneficial as far as my channel goes. For
you, it'd be like, okay, like every scrap of material that you could put on, I would put up. And
I know how-tos, man. They get a lot of attention.
There you go.
But like what we're as far as the making of, I would predict the making of Snark Wartz would get more views than Snark Wartz.
Could be
because people are like, oh, making of, it's like
everybody
wants their piece of the pie now, thinking, hey, I might learn something, pick something up, and be able to use it for me.
Well, it's kind of funny what leads to things like. I did a video on the Ryobi 40-volt battery. There's a battery reset set of contacts on the board. Nobody had done a video on that before. I posted it, I don't know, a few weeks ago, a month or two, and it's up to like 2,000 views. Here's what I do. It doesn't really apply to you. I'll take a problem that I have. Like, I had this problem. Here's how to fix it. I'll throw that on YouTube. So maybe think about along those lines. Like, I had an art problem. Here's how I solved it. I couldn't get, and I'm not an artist, but it's like, okay, couldn't get the shading right, or I wanted to use this technique or that technique, or you could do a tour of your table. Like, here's the pieces of artwork that I'm working on. Here's the tool I'm using, this stuff like that. Like there's a video right there. Mm-hmm. I always joke about, celebrities and other people that use the whole animal. Like I use the hooves and the antler and the skin and everything. Yeah. And I made 4 different videos out of that deer.
Yeah.
Hey, here's how to mount it as a head. Here's how to dress it out. Here's how I turned it into sausage. Look, I gave it to the dog.
Yeah, I was planning on doing a history of plasticine. If you look at some of my current videos, they're getting really choppy because I've been experimenting with frame rates. Because, old Super 8 movie cameras, home Super 8, used to shoot at 18 frames a second. And I think if you look at the old Gumbies, I'd be willing to bet those were about 18 to 16 frames a second.
Interesting.
And it really does detract from the quality. Now, Snark Wartz was done at 24 frames a second. Video is normally 30 frames a second. And most of your HD programming now and digital theaters are like 60 frames a second. So, but the idea was, just to make cutbacks. Hammered and Barbaric was how Snark Wartz opened up. The idea behind that was it was kind of a salute to Hanna-Barbera, who were able to take American animation, give you good entertainment content, but man, did they cheapen animation.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Barney Rubble was just like a mouth moving and an arm. Everything else was static.
Right.
So that's what I thought I would try.
Barney!
I need to find... It's the triangulation of any production or business, right? You got quality, which you think would be your main goal. Then there's economy, and then there's time, right? Mm-hmm. Where shall the three meet?
Right.
And time, we're both on the wrong side of 50. Time is of the essence.
Hey, I'm not 50 yet. I'm getting close.
50?
Not 50 yet.
Oh, so I'm the geezer here. I'm sorry.
No.
I don't mean to imply.
Well, I don't like to talk about my age as a...
Well, I thought we were like the same age, man. Oh, okay. Well,
close.
All right.
Probably close.
All right. Well, we entered the military and graduated in the 80s, right?
Yeah, exactly.
At least we got that in common. Okay.
Like, back to your point, perfection is the enemy of success, right?
Or endeavor. Because God, it's not good enough. Can't do it.
I want to hit a home run. I don't want to hit a single. I don't want to bat singles or doubles. I want to hit a home run.
And I guess I would say that might be what I'm proudest of. Snark Wartz there.
You finished it.
I finished it.
You put something out. Man, I got stuff. I look through my IMDb sometime. There's several things on there. Never come out. Maybe it's going to come out. I don't know. They call me to finish it or whatever. Super.
It's like all independent projects. Right?
Yeah, exactly. Right. I'm looking at my demo reel going, man, if only this other stuff had come out or if only they had sent me.
That's what happens, man. It gets in the way. It's just like, it's like, oh, I got to go take everybody on an appointment. Oh, family's expecting me to do this. Oh, I actually have to go earn some real money. Yeah. So, like, maybe I'll be able to get to it next week.
Well, I've been doing options trading, so that's kind of making me some money.
Okay, so you'll be producing our next project.
Yeah,
correct?
Right.
There's your production credits. Throw me some cash, baby.
More like going broke slower. I'm looking at it here. You're up to 3,000 viewers, and you got 156 subscribers.
Wait, I hit 3. Wait, where are you at, man? Snark Wartz has 3,000 views?
Well, 2778. 28.
Oh, yeah. Okay, you're rounding.
You're 2,800.
I was like, what? It was like a big jump since I looked at it last, 6 hours ago. I look at it almost every day. I got 1 view today. Woo!
I hit reload almost every day.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, the whole YouTube equation. I think YouTube is fast trying to make themselves redundant.
What's the new one that people are kind of posting?
Well, BitChute is where a lot of people are migrating because a lot of people are getting canceled for various reasons. You got independent journalists out there, just content creators. And the thing is, YouTube, roughly 6 years ago, it was kind of like the Wild West.
Mm.
It was you saw stuff you didn't want to see.
Yeah.
And no one needed to see,
right?
But it was there. It was there. And then they started tightening up on copyrights, and then all of a sudden, we got all this various other big tech things going on. And
they almost want to be like a network. Like we don't want to be YouTube. Right.
Well, they're showing full feature-length films now with various commercial breaks, which is reasonable, and some of the movies are edited. Like, I think they had Terminator on there. I think they gave a TV version of that. But I know it's Mr. Mom. And I watched Mutiny on the Bounty with Mel Gibson. I think a few months ago on there, and there were a few nip shots and
Wow.
derrieres. But yeah, no, I mean, you got full feature films on there. I remember when I first started my account, you could only load 15 minutes. Now you could throw a feature up there, I guess. There's a website called Minds. They're kind of doing I think they're trying to start like a cryptocurrency within the realm of their website or their social media network. And you could load video up as well as it kind of operates a little bit like Facebook. Snark has about 50 thumbs up there on Minds. And even though I only put the link, the YouTube link, and of course Snark is also on BitChute and Joshu TV. And God, there's so many options out there. You know, you can get lost.
Obviously, there's Vimeo, but to me, that's kind of in its own little.
Vimeo wanted to charge me because I think you could put something up there maybe 3 or 4 minutes long, but you know, if you go above that, they're going to want some cash.
Right.
And people are promoting their movies via Vimeo. That Vimeo is more for the visual auteur. You know, people that are like. Great cinematographers, you know, you don't want to compress your videos and put it up on Vimeo because it'll really look like crud.
Yeah, that's true. And then it's not quite Amazon or Netflix, but it's a step above YouTube. Like,
yeah, it's a good way to monetize. I mean, if you're willing to make the investment and risk with your project, you could put a feature film on there and you'll have to pay out to them, and then you got to start your guerrilla marketing and try to get people to watch and pay like $4 to watch your movie. But that is a scary prospect.
That's a tough corner.
Yeah.
I put one video on Amazon. I don't know if you knew that. It was like a little tiny 90-second skit.
I think you sent me that link. And
yeah. That
how
took
was
a
you
little
going to
bit
monetize that?
Oh, I think I put a 99-cent rental on it because that's like the least you can ask. I was like, don't anybody pay 99 cents for it. It's more like, you want to donate 99 cents? Just, okay, rent it then. But
Here's a story. Okay. All right. The project you're working on, too, is I'm planning on releasing Snark on DVD, but I'm going to, like, charge probably $6 to $8 per DVD, but you'll be getting a feature film for free. Buy Snark, you get a free feature movie. When I talk guerrilla production, I'm still stuck in the 90s, you know? I mean, like, I'll go walking around with a backpack, but instead of dope, I'm going to have CDs. They say, hey, you want to buy my movie?
release it on floppy. Like,
what was it? I was at Target a couple of weeks ago, and I said, hey, I was like over there by the media section. I said, hey, you like Star Wars? Hey, you like Star Wars? Guys just, yeah. So I handed him a little card, says Snark Wars. He goes, oh, cool, man. I was like, whatever it takes. Just get out there and talk to people, drive for Lyft part-time, and have a few CDs with you and say, hey, you like Star Wars?
Timmy, do you like gladiator movies?
Yeah, so I'll be the creepy Star Wars guy. What I had just done was I went out. I had a army gas mask, hence COVID, and I made a sign that said, failed filmmaker, please help. Yeah. And so it was the first time I ever panhandled. Oh, I actually panhandled my movie. But this will be in the trailer. And,
so you had like copies of it, and if they'd made you a donation, you were like, here.
I did not go that far, but it was just for footage. I mean, I'm willing to go that route if I have to go that route. But it's kind of like I was taking baby steps towards being a panhandler for my movie.
That'd be funny, like just go down on the service road on like 59 North or 288 North.
Right.
And there's guys that panhandle at the corner.
Yeah.
Like, hey, CD.
See, well, yeah, that's the one thing is, that's where I'll really get in trouble with the law if I'm actually making cash transactions. Then I'm soliciting, right? That's maybe. Solicitation.
Maybe.
So that's really getting into some bad areas. But as long as it's caught on video, hey, it might be worth it.
Yeah. Or you could just hand out
There's no
cards
such thing as bad publicity.
just hand out QR codes. Scan this with your phone. Goes to my video.
Right. Well, that's what I was doing. I took Xerox copies of by Snark Wartz. Check out Snark Wartz at this URL. And
Well, I've been doing lately, like I say, just little videos, and I always ask, and I'm like, hey, hit like and subscribe. I'm underemployed right now, so this is my kind of part-time job. And
I need to remember to push that. I've always been, hesitant to do that because I don't want to beg, but I gotta beg.
Well, there's people with millions of viewers that ask for it, so it's kind of like that's kind of the standard. I did one video the other day. I was like, hey, kids, hit like and subscribe. You thought I'd put that later, but I put it right up front.
You gotta. What's the harm, right?
If you look at your metrics, typically the views fall off towards the end. Like pretty much every video falls off to the end. So if you're reminding people,
this being said, I looked at that. Snark Wartz will drop and then pick up towards the end. Does that mean people are like just jumping while they watch it? Is that how that works?
Yes. But especially if you do like, here's how to. Once you've shown them how to, then, after that, they're not watching.
Right.
So I usually put it at the front and at the end. Like the end is like the debrief. I've gotten like 36 in 28 days or whatever.
The thing about Snark, I do know. I mean, to critique the project, its weakest moments are at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
It definitely picks up speed, but you can lose viewership.
Yeah.
I mean, most of my viewers drop off after 2 minutes, and that's a long video.
Yeah.
I mean, people got the short attention span. You click, and you got all these other options. It's like to get somebody to sit there for almost 10 full minutes is quite an achievement.
Oh yeah, especially on YouTube.
But yeah, most of views fall off before 3 minutes.
Maybe you should make it pay only. You should do that thing where like, well, this is free. It can't be any good.
Well, let me ask your opinion. When I release it on DVD, should I pull it?
I don't know that. I mean,
I don't think I should. With that, the idea is like, hey, if you like it, why don't you go ahead and buy the DVD and you get a whole lot of extra content for that $8. Yeah.
Hard to say. I guess you could change it to unlisted. You don't have to pull it. Just change the link to unlisted, and that way only people that have a link to it can watch it.
Oh, that's right.
So
where you're like, you got this code, you can send me an email and they'll send you the link.
Yeah, or put it on the DVD maybe or something like that.
Well, we being independent media types, I've been thinking that we should promote the angle of we want to harpoon, the Moby Dick that is Hollywood. Most of us don't really like what they've been pushing out there, even though we still love it in its own way. But we're battered. We're battered.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff.
We're battered fans. There's so much crap out there. And to get on a tangent here, I despised the prequel or the sequel trilogies.
Mm-hmm.
The J.J. Abrams Star Wars. Geez, I can't even remember all the names, and I'm like the original Star Wars freak. And I mean, yeah, the prequels, they weren't good movies. Everybody knows it, and we know why. But these sequel trilogies, jeez. I mean, there's so many videos online. I mean, there's like 4-hour videos just lambasting these things.
Yeah.
Well,
my thought on stuff like that is like, okay, if this doesn't service the project, it doesn't matter. Like if this doesn't service the movie in some way, that's what matters. Right. And I know inclusion and stuff like that is important. Right. But I've even told directors.
That being said, did you ever see a kid sitting at the park playing with his Ray, the girl, the heroine of the movie?
I heard about that.
Have you seen a kid playing with an action figure of Ray?
I don't know if I've seen kids playing with action figures, but
that's true. It is kind of passe, isn't it?
But I think I heard that sold poorly. I
did.
Swear to that.
Guys have done videos on that.
Yeah.
But look, I already sold my first piece of merch from Snark. So
there you go. I
got something over what Disney's doing now.
Yeah, and I like Daisy Ridley. Don't get me wrong. I like her as an actress. I've seen her in some other things.
Well, you know,
I like
that's
her.
funny you should mention that. I really like Adam Driver.
Yeah,
but
I like Adam Driver too.
I haven't liked anything he's done.
Yeah.
Even Saturday Night Live when he hosted it, I'm like, come on, guy.
The Oil Baron stuff was good. The Oil Baron skit is gold, I think.
I just watched the last time he did it. He had the musical guest was some chick that looked like a pole dancer.
Yeah, there's two where they go to the Golden Globes. That one's pretty funny, where they win the Golden Globe and end up partying all night.
Well, it's kind of like he's almost there with everything he did. He did a Jim Jarmusch movie with Bill Murray and zombies.
Yeah. The Dead Don't Die.
I thought this movie looked great.
Yeah.
You know, I wanted to see it in theaters. I missed it because it had limited release, so I got it on DVD once it came out. And I sat there, and it started off good. First 30 minutes was, hey, this is okay. So, and it just went, Peter. It's like every project he's done. I watched not Man from La Mancha. It was the Terry Gilliam movie.
I haven't seen, that one.
Lost in La Mancha? I think Lost in La Mancha was the documentary of the making of this movie Terry Gilliam had spent 10 years trying to get done. He ended up finishing it with Adam Driver. And I glazed over while watching it, you know.
Yeah, there's some good stuff out there. Watch Undercover Boss Starkiller Base, where he's Kylo Ren on SNL. This is on SNL, but he goes undercover.
Okay, I saw that. That was good. That was good.
And then watch The Oil Baron. Him as the Oil Baron. He comes in to give a speech to his son's class for like career day. You know, my dad does this, and he's like, "What are you?" I'm an Oil Baron.
Was that playing on the Blood? There Will Be Blood or something like that?
I don't think so. No, because he's like 102, and he's got all these liver spots and stuff, and he's all hunched over.
It's not that the talent wasn't there. I mean, everybody that did. I mean, Isaac, the guy that was like trying to take over the Han Solo part.
Mm-hmm. That was an okay movie.
I lay the blame at J.J. Abrams. Just bad writing. It was style over substance. You know, I mean, yeah, fast edits is great. Special effects are awesome. But man, there's empty calories.
Yeah, I thought Solo was okay. I'll go out and say Solo was one of the better ones, and that I don't know how this digressed into talking about Star Wars stuff, but
because we did the Star Wars parody, man.
All right,
that's right.
We did. So what was the other one?
Rogue One.
Yeah, Rogue One.
I like that a lot.
Good. Yeah,
it was good popcorn entertainment. You know.
Well, they weren't afraid to get a little dark. Like, Empire gets pretty dark.
Well, that would be the criticism I would have of it. You know,
because
it did have it was teetering on Saving Private Ryan intensity there, right?
Yeah.
Kids like they're great. It was definitely made for 14 and up, right?
Yeah.
Or maybe even 12 and up. That was the great thing. I mean, Star Wars, the first trilogy, it hit the mark on all those points, right? It took that balance, you know. You'll appeal to an 8-year-old. You'll appeal to a 16-year-old. You'll appeal to a 40-year-old. Yeah, I think those guys at Red Letter Media. I think I sent you a link to them because they're part of the making of. Because they made their money doing a 3-hour critique of the Phantom Menace, and they got like 7 million views on that. They called Rogue One the ultimate fan movie. It was just all these little, you know, throwbacks. You had the guys from the cantina scene that Obi-Wan cuts the arm off of. I'm not losing on anything. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
I've seen it. Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah.
I mean, I've seen Star Wars on its original theatrical run back in the 70s about 100 times. I was there. My mom would go watch a rated R. She'd go watch Saturday Night Fever, and I'd go watch Star Wars. That was like at least every other weekend. So.
Yeah, I was like 6 when that came out. So
I was 10.
Yeah, there you go. So similar.
Okay. Still appeal to us. Still wanted to go out and buy the toys. You got a lot of editing to do.
Yeah, exactly. We'll save it in the edit, like they save Star Wars in the edit. So here, that's what there's a lot of stuff in Star Wars. Like you look at what they cut, and you're like, "Ooh, good choice."
Good choice. Exactly.
That was a scrawl of a scene. Thanks, Ed, for joining us. We have links in the show notes to the stuff we did together and the new stuff that's coming out.
Right.
Appreciate you coming
Stay
aboard.
tuned for the making of Snark Wartz, where you will be taking on additional roles.
Exactly. You'll be subscribing to the WingIT Productions YouTube channel.
Like and subscribe. Share. Exactly. Don't forget to share.
And you will get a notification when that comes out.
Right.
And you know it's
professional. And there'll be discounted merchandise if you do so.
You know it's professional because I've tucked my gum into the corner of my chin while I made this announcement. A little secret of the pros. You can chew gum during the podcast. Just at the end, when you got something important to say, you put it right there.